All right, Shalom. I'm going to give all praises, honor, and glory unto YAHWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHWASHI, BAHASHAM, QADASH. Also want to give double honors unto the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone. Blessings and salutation unto the elect of Yasha, which consists of the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, as well as the Akim out there enduring his truth across the four corners of the earth, teaching and preaching, prophesying through the spirit of YAHWASHI, YAHWASHI, in truth and sincerity, as well as the men and women that follow, and those who might look like the other nations, but are of the nation of Israel on their father's side by blood. And just getting into a lesson real quick, dealing with just the food shortages and potential rationings, I would say, and really this lesson stemmed through the spirit. I was helping out at the job, pass out food and stuff, and Salakia. It was for people they're struggling, people in need, and things of that nature. And what happened is I don't know. I looked at a particular female, and she had answered the phone, and I read her lips, and it said so let me make sure. I always got to make sure it's recording or the mic is on. Yep, kind of. She was like, yeah, I got the interview tomorrow. And I'm just thinking like, dang, the spirit just kind of hit me like, these people gonna take that shit. Like these people gonna take that shit. And part of it is gonna be, it's just like when they took the jab. That's why we consider that a trial run. People's freedoms was being taken. They was being restricted to certain areas, certain times, certain cities even. All right, you couldn't just travel. If you did want to do certain things, you had to have your mask on and, for the most part, have that get that jab, man. And yeah, so just looking at her and just, the ones going through the line and everything, because people depend on these programs. People depend on these programs. So once those programs come with stipulations, if they got to come in there and they got to make sure they have an ID, make sure they got whatever paperwork filled out and signed up in order to get some food, all right, then best believe, man, when food becomes scarce, right, and when food becomes scarce, just like, man, what was happening? I have so much going on. I forget what was happening. Can't remember what was happening, but a lot of people started going. Oh, I think it was the food stamps. It was food stamps called YAHWASHI, and I think that was just last year too. It's just time is me moving. But when them food stamps was taken away, a lot of people started going to the food banks. To the point where food banks was giving out more food and food that was being donated. So that yeah, man, it just had me thinking like people gonna want to eat, man. People are going to want to eat, and the thing is, I got a few precepts already up. Let me see. I want to get the one with they was let me see. 2 Kings chapter 6. Try to remember that. I think like it's verse 28. Yeah, the siege of Samaria, cannibalism. It's there right there. It's there right there, man. And people. So I was thinking about this, right? I'm like, let me just go ahead and read it. I'm gonna try to get straight to the point. I'll go here. 2 Kings 6 and 26. It says, and as the king of Israel was passing by upon the wall, there cried a woman unto him, saying, help, my lord, O king. And he said, if the Lord Yahweh do not help thee, whence shall I help thee? Out of the barn floor, or out of the wine press? And that's the thing. This is judgment that's coming to the world, ultimately to America. This is judgment of YAHWASHI. So there ain't no Jesus that can help them, no Allah that can help them, none of that. No deities, no idols. None of that, man. Because it's judgment of the Lord. If the Lord can't help you, then who can? That's why the Lord said he's gonna feed his servants, man. All right, his servants shall eat and drink. All right. Verse 28, it says, and the king said unto her, what aileth thee? And she answered, this woman said unto me, give thy son that we may eat him today, and we will eat my son tomorrow. So we boiled my son and did eat him. And I said unto her on the next day, give thy son that we may eat him. And she had hid her son. So there you have it. Now, my thought was like, I believe it's in chapter 5. My thought was like, if these people are willing to do that, then, you know, how much more in a world where you have abundance, you know, and not even necessarily abundance, where you have no discipline. All right. Let me, it should be 2nd Esdras 5. Because all people really know in this place is they get what they want. You know, everybody pretty much get what they want in this society for the most part. You know, man, why can't I find this word? Okay, 2nd Esdras 5 and 52. Over here, we come back to this. Well, matter of fact, let's see. Yeah, we'll just go. Oh well, we'll just go to 5. We already here. Already in 2nd Esdras. This is 2nd Esdras 5 and 52. I'm gonna go to 50. I'm gonna go to 50 for like as a young child may not. Yeah. It says, and I asked and said, sing, Salakia, 2nd Esdras 5 and 50, it says, and I asked and said, seeing thou hast not given me the way, I will proceed to speak before thee. For our mother, of whom thou hast told me that she is young, draweth now nigh unto age. He answered me and said, ask a woman that beareth children, and she shall tell thee. Say unto her, wherefore are not thy womb? So like, I'm gonna go to this be kind of throwing me off a little bit. Yeah, it says, wait, where we at? Okay. Yep, 52. Say unto her, wherefore are unto thy whom thou hast now brought forth like those that were before, but less of stature? And she shall answer thee, they that be born in the strength of youth are of one fashion, and they that are born in the time of age, when the womb faileth, are otherwise. Consider thou therefore also how that ye are less of stature than those that were before you. Now, this is during this is during, I can't remember if it was the Babylonians. You know, I don't think I had to double check Salakia, you know. But it was before, this was thousands of years ago. I can't remember that. But it was you know, it was thousands of years ago, and he's telling him that he was less stature of the ones that came before him. You know, so how much more of us, and in a society where there isn't really any discipline, where people are used to being gluttonous and indulgent and just having more than they need. if they was doing it then, best believe they're gonna do it now and more. You know, they're gonna lose it, man. They're gonna lose it, and that's where it's at. Go here. This is Matthew 24:7. It says, "For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places." And you know, that's what's causing, because this nation is against the nation of Iran for the most part. You are having it causing these rationings, or these shortages rather. All right, with fuel, with food. Here it is. These couple, videos that they was talking about. The Navy is they rationing. They over there rationing food. And she was kind of making a good point. I'm gonna see if the words come up.
Hey, so
I can't fast forward or nothing. Let me see. Really hard to explain what a mental toll is on the individual and on the ship and the crew to be deployed by the sea for long. And just 3. They just did something. And all in all, they got their own plan. That's the Most High's plan to get things started. All right, to get chaos in the world, so they can bring order. And part of that order is going to be by way of the RFID microchip, the mark of the beast. All right. This was another guy, he was speaking on it. He was saying that this is their meal, a skewer and some rice, Now, this is what, this is what's being shown. How much more ain't being shown, right? But best believe, man, that famine is going to come. It's prophesied to come, We go back over to 2nd Ezra 15, and that's what they're doing. They're just squeezing a life, literally squeezing a life out of people. So when they really need to bring in their solution, people will be all for it, man. Right? This is 2nd Ezra 15:10. It says, "Behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter. I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt. But I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched arm Salakia. But I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm and smite Egypt with plagues as before." So it cannot be talking about the old Egypt, but it's talking about this Egypt. It's this Egypt, aka America, is related to the ancient Egypt that we were in due to the bondage. Some of the symbolism that they have in this place. All right. But ultimately it's that bondage. We serve bondage there, we serve bondage here. And how did the Lord get us out of there? With a spectacular fashion. And best believe he's going to do the same in this place, man. In this Egypt, like he said, as before. And will destroy all the land thereof. Yep, because Egypt is still going. But all this land is going to be done away with. It says, "Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be smitten with plagues and punishment that the Most High shall bring upon it." So it is prophesied, and it has to happen, because this is, once again, judgment of YAHWASHI, YAHWASHI. "They that till the ground shall mourn, for their seeds shall fail through the blasting and hail, and with a fearful constellation." Yeah, so you have a bunch of farmers, and they can't really afford the fertilizer. They could say the fertilizer went up like 70% or something. It says U.S. food supply constraints, retail limits, grocery stores are implementing purchase limits, quantity caps, and temporary buying restrictions on items like beef, potatoes, and wheat to avoid empty shelves. High fertilizer and fuel costs, along with severe droughts in the West, are reducing crop yields, with 70% of farmers 70% of farmers unable to afford full planting. So that's more than half, right? Certain things that get planted. I plan to get into that too, Lord's will. See what's being planted and what's not being planted. What are they sacrificing to plant more of to possibly get a bigger bang for their buck, so to speak? What are they going to profit off more? It says invisible rationings. While not officially termed rationing, retailers and distributors are using supply management tactics such as out of stock due to high demands, notices, to manage shortages without causing panic. And that's the thing you got to worry about. When people start to panic, that is the thing. Because what panic goes into, it says sudden mass terror, especially in exaggerated fright affecting a number of persons without visible cause or inspired by trifling cause or danger. Right? There's a particular part I'm looking forward to. It says pertaining to Pan, the god of woods and fields, who was the source of mysterious sounds that cause contagious, groundless fear in herds and crowds, or in people in lonely spots. In the sense of panic or fright, the Greek word is short for panikon, daima, panic, fright. No. Let me see. Oh, dang. And you should say something about like running. People just, pretty much running. But nonetheless, that's what it'd be. It'd be people, they start to see the shelves getting empty. So people do. People be doing that. Let's see. What is panic buying? Panic buying is a behavioral phenomenon where consumers purchase unusually yet large amounts of a product or stockpile items in anticipation of or during a disaster, crisis, or perceived shortage. It is driven by fear, anxiety, and the desire to gain control in an uncertain situation, often leading to herd behavior, where people copy the actions of others, and that's what's gonna happen. They just all I gotta do is put one news clip. You seen that during the CVID era with the toilet paper. People was fighting over toilet paper. They just trying to buy up all the toilet paper. And then I remember seeing news articles that is speaking about toilet paper is made here. People stocking up on toilet paper, and there's toilet paper that's made with in the States, so it's not like we weren't going to get it. But that's the herd mentality, right? They just see, look, when people see empty shelves or others buying in bulk, they are prompted to do the same, creating a snowball effect. And it's not like you can just stop people from doing it. Like, get them out of the mindset. Once they're in it until they're out of it. You ain't gonna have nobody out there, no, I need you guys only to get 2, get 3. It's gonna get bad out here. It's gonna get bad out here in the name of shortages, in the name of rations. Because people are they're stimulated by indulgence, man. That's what gets them, feeling like they're alive, is being able to have as much as they want. Let me see if I missed anything. I'll read a little bit more. It says military food supply, naval shortages. Reports suggest U.S. Navy sailors deployed near Iran are experiencing rationing, with claims of meager meals and lost weight. He did say in his video that a family member, he heard someone's family member talk about how they lost 17 pounds. Let me get that real quick. Let me see. King War. Oh man, that's gonna be hard. I think it's in Ecclesiastes though. Dang, I can't find a precept, but it was a precept, and it was pretty much like a king. A king doesn't go. Oh, let me. That's what it was. Something about 10,000. Oh, it's in Luke. It's in Luke. Kind of way off. Luke 14:31. This is Luke 14:31. I'll go up to 30. It says, saying, this man began to build and was not able to finish. Speaking about not counting the cost. Speaking about us. You know, we got to make sure we count the cost when we start this, that we're able to finish through the Spirit. Verse 31, it says, or what king going to make war against another king sitteth not down first and consulted whether he be able with the 10,000 to meet him that cometh against him with 20,000? You know, or else, while the other is yet a great way off, he sendeth an ambassage and desireth conditions of peace. You know, and they didn't do that. They just fired off the hip. Fired off the hip, you know. And yeah, man, through the spirit of YAHWASHI, we at where we at, man. And, you know, the ball continue to roll. You know, that's a good lesson right there. A good lesson title. The ball continues to roll. All right? Because no matter what, there is no stopping these prophecies. But yeah, man, I just wanted to jump into that, you know. Salaki, I'm kind of like all over the place. I should be asleep, but I did not want to go to sleep without getting a lesson done through the Spirit. So with that, Lord willing, you was edified, and Lord willing, we allowed to endure to the end. Once again, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, BAHASHAM, YAHWASHI, BAHASHAM, QADASH. Shalom.